Hello, and big, heartfelt, warm greetings to everyone today. Welcome to day 2 of the Hot Flash Challenge, how to chill out your hot flashes. And today we're going to be talking about stress and the HPA axis. But first, let's recap yesterday. I just want to welcome you back to today. And yesterday, for the anatomy and physiology of hot flashes, common symptoms that accompany them, and how lifestyle factors into the equation. We looked at some common food triggers and some ideas for swap outs. I know I had a really nice mocktail last night with some soda water and some citrus, and it just felt really uh, refreshing. It was, the beginning of our almost summer evenings, and it was a little warmer, and it was just really nice to sit out there and listen to the birds and sip my little mocktail. So I hope that you've gotten some good ideas on different things that you can tweak and help reduce your hot flashes. I also slept really well last night, and we're going to be covering sleep in another episode. So you got your food hot flash tracker sheet as well from the archives page. And I hope that you're going to be tracking some of those food connections with frequency of hot flashes. It's so helpful to start tapping in and listening to your body. So today, let's dive into stress and the HPA axis. A lot of people, when I say HPA axis, they're like, oh my God, she's going to go geek on me and get all sciencey. And yeah, there's part of me that does that. But honestly, I felt like I was not getting the information from the medical community that I'd so desperately needed when I was in the throes of perimenopause and all of these symptoms that were just like hitting me like a Mack truck. And so when I wrote my book, Aromatherapy for Menopause Success, I really wanted it to be something that women could count on for really solid information in bite-sized pieces that you could understand. And so with all of these challenges or classes or programs, I really want to be able to share to you from a heartfelt space my experience and also the science that goes behind it, because I think then you'll be able to make better decisions on how you want to manage your own health and wellness through this journey. So you're going to understand what's going on in your body so that you have a better relationship with it and you work with your body, not against it. So, so important. We want to push these hot flash symptoms away. We just want them to go away. And part of it is just embracing them and learning from them. So yesterday, I introduced you to the hypothalamus, that part of your brain that plays a part in signaling other systems in the body to create the hot flash. Well, today we're going to talk about the hypothalamus as a part of your brain that is affected by stress. So in your handout in the archives today, you'll be able to go grab this handout that talks about the HPA axis and all the different cortisone hormones that are released. And then there's also your worksheet for today. You're going to create your own brand. You know, every successful product launch, and we're going to use your body as the product, right? It is successful when it has good branding. So I'm going to teach you how to brand yourself today and really be able to step up and be the best version of yourself, hot flash free. All right. So this HPA axis is the hypothalamus, the pituitary, and the adrenals. Okay. There's this, 3 components to this. And it's one of the body's pathways that lead to our fight flight response. Stress activates this HPA axis. Okay, this is how it happens. The hypothalamus sends a message in the brain from the central nervous system. Okay, this all comes from your nervous system, which is important to dial it down. Okay, and it says that, hey, there's a threat. And so the hypothalamus then releases a hormone called corticotropin. I never say that right. Releasing hormone. Okay. This has to do with cortisol from the adrenals. Okay. And that's why the adrenals are in this. Okay. It comes from the hypothalamus, pituitary, and the adrenals. And then that triggers the pituitary gland to release the adrenocorticotropin. I know it's all in your materials. I can't pronounce them, but they are hormones. And this sends the message to the adrenals to release cortisol. It's like a chain reaction when your body gets stressed. Now, remember, the hypothalamus is already getting mixed messages that tell it to pump more blood from the heart and let the heart know that your body thinks it's too hot. So it's going on, right? Then you add increased stress levels, which are going to trip it to alert the pituitary and the adrenals. So, yeah, there's a hot mess going on in there. Okay, so I want you to understand how if we can start to help the central nervous system by relieving, and reducing stress, then the body stays out of fight flight mode. Now, as we age, just a fact of aging, we become less stress tolerant. That means that our body can't handle as much as stress as it used to. Okay? Increased stress equals increased hot flashes. Yes, hot mess, Lynn. But we are going to really lean into that mess because the mess is the message. Our body's trying to give us messages. So when you're in that hot mess, it's going to be a message to you to lean in, to listen deeper, and to help manage that stress. Okay, we live in such a high stress society. It's unbelievable. So this cortisol is the most important component stress hormone and has some very important effects on the body. High stress leads to consistently high levels of cortisol in the body. Yesterday we talked about food triggers, and caffeine is one of those food triggers that elevates our cortisol levels. Yeah, it might get you going in the morning, but that's because your cortisol levels are elevated. That's going to trip that HPA axis to say, oh, high cortisol, I should be on alert. And then that's going to increase your hot flashes. So that's why we keyed in on day one on some of these food triggers. Okay. Okay, so meaning that your body always thinks it's running from a tiger. That's what high cortisol does. It results in these high levels of cortisol lead to insulin to become elevated as well. So there's this stair-step process. Cortisol gets elevated, insulin gets elevated, cravings go up. Oh, I want to eat foods that I normally shouldn't want to eat, right? So there's this domino effect that's happening in the body. The effects of high cortisol include, of course, increased hot flashes. It can also include some of the triggers from food, like anxiety, depression, mood swings, which include anger and irritability. And of course, those food cravings that lead to excess belly fat. That's just to name a few. So keep this all in perspective as we go along. Managing our stress is one of the most important skills that you can hone in on for reducing hot flashes. Seriously. And that's because we become less stress tolerant as we age. So remember all the days where you could do all this multitasking, run, and that used to be able to be sustainable, but it just isn't sustainable. I always pose the question to myself when I'm doing certain things, whether it's eating a food or doing an activity or, listening to my monkey mind. I always say, is this going to be sustainable? Is this activity, is this food, is what's going on in my life sustainable? And if the answer is no, then it's time to pivot and tweak it a little bit. So this week is all about tweaking things to keep those hot flashes down. So let's do some strategizing today on ways that you can minimize your stress and identify when you feel like you're getting stressed. Again, listening to your body, right? So as we listen to our bodies, here's how I want you to frame it. 3 questions. All right, are you ready? What do I notice physically when my body is stressed? This could be tight shoulders, feeling tired or run down, sore muscles or joints, teeth clenching. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, my jaw is so tight. And I've been stressed, and I know that my teeth have been clenching during the night. And it could also be a poor sleep. Okay, that's the physical body. Next question. What do I notice mentally when my body is stressed? This could be a feeling of overwhelm, like, oh, I can't take on anymore. Like, I just can't. You can't focus on any one thing. This could be brain fog. It could also be hypervigilance, always like, waiting, like, what's happening, what's happening? Or feeling withdrawn. Sometimes when you get that overwhelm and brain fog, you just want to withdraw, go into your cocoon, shut out the world, all those kinds of things. So that is the mental body. Third question, what do I notice emotionally when my body is stressed? Are you easily irritated? That's partly due to the liver. Do you get depressed? Do you get anxious, fearful? Those are some of the things that you might notice when you have emotional connections with stress. Some of the other things that you could just be experiencing all overall might be just the inability to get words out. It's like, I just can't get that word out. Those are some of the things that can be present when you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed. So just start listening to your body more on a physical, mental, emotional level to be able to sort these out. Okay. The liver also plays a role in this as with this HPA axis, because the liver and the adrenal glands are going to be responsible for hormone production as your ovaries slow down with that production. So they're handing the baton over. So again, those adrenals and the liver are taxed out a little bit more, which leads to this irritability, which leads to this hypersensitivity and the less tolerant you are to stress. Okay. So here's your challenge for today. We're going to brand you. Like I said earlier, we're going to help you create a brand for yourself. So brand is an acronym for breathe, rest, activate, nurture, and dive in. Brand. So let's go over those for today. You can do just the simple challenge today of just spending 10 minutes of quiet time in meditation or deep breathing, or you can include all of these over the next 4 days. So breathe. Take 6 deep belly breaths. This stimulates your vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve is sort of the meter or the dial for the nervous system, the central nervous system. And remember, the central nervous system is sending that message to the hypothalamus. So we want to keep that from happening. So stimulating the vagus nerve is going to actually relax the central nervous system and give you some space for grace on this menopause journey. The second step is rest. Take a break. Give yourself permission to take a break. It's okay. This is for you. This is for you. All right. Put that on a Post-it note in your bathroom. I give myself permission to take a break today. Activate. Get out in nature. Take a walk, garden, or sit in the park. Listen to music. Do what feeds your soul in an active way. I love to get out on my bicycle. That's just where my happy space is. I got to take a really nice 12-mile ride yesterday, and it was just so beautiful seeing all the beautiful gardens out there, listening to the birds, hearing the ocean. It was just so blissful. Nurture, listening to music or guided meditations for at least 10 minutes a day. I have some great uh, uh, meditation clips on my SoundCloud account, and I've included the links in the archive page today so you can tap into those. There are two different links. I have some on my website, angelasidlow.com, and then I have some on my SoundCloud space too. And there's some really nice ones with some essential oils, which we'll be talking about later in the challenge, but it'll give you a great introduction. There are also some really great apps that I like to do. There's one called Meditate Me. I love that one. And any of the Deepak Chopra meditations, they have a free 21-day meditation going on right now that's been really helpful. So check those out too. So many different ways to be able to tap in and see what's happening. And the last one, dive in. Journal your thoughts and feelings as a way to find and explore yourself from within. This is an inside job right now at this time of your life, an inside job. And I want you to be beautiful from the inside out. And so tapping into your inner self through journaling thoughts and feelings along the way gives you just that more many clues about your magnificent self. And being hot flash free is being part of that. So be sure to post your insights and comments or questions in the Facebook group. I'm going to see you tomorrow, and we're going to explore how to dial in your sleep zone to chill out your hot flashes. Sleep will be an important part of this journey. So for today, let's manage our stress. Let's keep that HPA axis by branding yourself in check. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day.